Good morning, all. Today I am going to discuss about vulnerability, capacity, and disaster risk. As I already explained, vulnerability it can generally be described as the potential for loss. In the past, vulnerability has been limited to physical susceptibility. However, understanding of this concept is now becoming more comprehensive to include susceptibility, exposure, coping capacity, adaptive capacity, social inequalities, and physical, institutional, and economic weaknesses. Vulnerability may be defined the extent to which a community, structure, services, or geographic area is likely to be damaged or disrupted by the impact of particular hazard on account of the nature, construction, and proximity to hazardous or disaster prone area. Vulnerabilities can be categorized into physical and socio-economic vulnerability. Physical vulnerability is defined as the properties of physical structures that determine their potential damage in case of a disaster. Example, material type and construction quality. Physical vulnerability represents the culmination of human vulnerability, agricultural vulnerability, and structural vulnerability. In essence, humans are vulnerable to events that threaten the physical body, food source, and surrounding environment. It includes notation of who and what may be damaged or destroyed by natural hazards such as earthquake or floods. It is based on the physical condition of people and elements at risk, such as buildings, infrastructure, etc., and their proximity, location, and nature of the hazard. It also relates to the technical capability of building and structures to resist the forces acting upon them during a hazard event. Socio-economic vulnerability is defined as people's capacity to anticipate, cope with, resist, and recover from the impacts of a natural hazard. The degree to which a population is affected by a hazard will not merely lie in the physical components of vulnerability, but also on the socio-economic conditions. Hazards are always prevalent, but the hazard becomes a disaster only when there is a great vulnerability and less of capacity to cope with it. For example, people who are poor and living in the seacoast don't have the money to construct strong concrete houses. They are generally at risk and lose their shelters whenever there is a strong wind or cyclone. Because of the poverty, they too are not able to rebuild their houses. Next, capacity. It can be defined as resources, means, and strengths which exist in households and communicates and which enable them to cope with, withstand, prepare for, prevent, mitigate, or quickly recover from a disaster. People's capacity can also be taken into account. Capacities could be physical capacity and also socio-economic capacity. In physical capacity, people whose houses have been destroyed by the cyclone or crops have been destroyed by the flood can salvage things from their homes and from their farms. Some family members have skills which enable them to find employment if they migrate, either temporarily or permanently. In socio-economic capacity, most of the disasters, people suffer the greatest losses in the physical and material realm. Rich people have the capacity to recover soon from because of the wealth. In fact, they are seldom hit by disasters because they live in safe areas and their houses are built with stronger materials. However, even when everything is destroyed, they have the capacity to cope up with it. Hazards are always prevalent, but the hazard becomes a disaster only when there is a great vulnerability and less of capacity to cope with it. In other words, the frequency or likelihood of a hazard and the vulnerability of the community increases the risk of being severely affected. Next, what is disaster risk? Risk is a measure of the expected losses due to hazard event occurring in a given area over a specific time period. Risk is a function of the probability of particular hazardous event and the losses each would cause. The level of the risk depends upon nature of the hazard, vulnerability of the element which are affected, and also economic value of those elements. Disaster risk formula is hazard into vulnerability by manageability. As already I explained vulnerability, hazard. Manageability means the degree to which the community can intervene and manage a hazard in order to reduce its potential impact. Manageability is synonymous to capacity. And disaster risk is a hazard into vulnerability by capacity. Exposure means the presence and number of people, property, livelihood, systems, or either or other elements in hazard area is known as exposure. Exposure is one of the defining component of disaster risk. So risk equal to hazard into exposure into vulnerability. If a hazard occur in an area of no exposure, then there is no risk. The extent to which exposed people or economic assets are actually at risk is generally determined by how vulnerable they are, as it is possible to be exposed but not vulnerable. However, increasing evidence suggests that the case of extreme hazards, the degree of disaster risk is a consequence of exposure more than it is a result of vulnerability. People and economic assets become concentrated in areas exposed to hazards through processes such as population growth, migration, urbanization, and economic development. Many hazard prone areas such as coastlines, volcanic slopes, and floodplains attract economic and urban development, offer significant economic benefits, or are of cultural or religious significance to the people who live there.